G'day guys, I'm Luke Morrison from the Love Property Group, and joining me today we have Liam Cromarty, our Director of Sales. What a man.
Thank you.
What an average haircut.
Very nice. That's not nice. Switched up real quick. Thank you very much.
As you can tell here, guys, we've got good banter because we certainly are building a culture here that we love, and that we're hoping to build into more and more agents, which we'll touch on very soon. And
100%.
we obviously had heaps of questions from both of us.
Yep.
And we'll touch on a few of those through this potty.
Yep.
But first of all, how's things? How are you feeling the marketplace at the moment, Liam? What are the sort of trends, I guess, that you're seeing out there in the big wide world?
Despite the weather, we're finding that, the listings are tight. So properties going online and properties hitting the market, it's a bit light on based on where it traditionally is at this time of the year. However, with the properties that are online, they're selling. So I feel like the list to sell ratio is going up, it's trending upwards. So whatever's kind of hitting the market is selling. And we've found that, I guess, with our team at the moment and at Love, is that a lot of the properties that are hitting the market is selling in the first 4 weeks.
Yeah. Do you feel like the listings being a bit light on, you'd say, or whatever the wording was that you used? Do you think that comes back to all the talks about the interest rate decrease that happened yesterday, the election, school holidays, Easter, all of that stuff? It was kind of like a big bunch this year.
Anzac Day, it's kind of everything all in a month. So I think there was a lot of people just waiting to see what happened and what was happening. That typically is the case, where there's big changes coming and people are unsure and there's a bit of uncertainty there, people tend not to take action. So I feel as though with that now behind us, we're just going to see the market really pick up like a freight train, really.
Yeah. And when you say the market's going to pick up like the freight train, I think that's a good comment. What does that mean for the listeners out there? What does that mean? Does that mean because the interest rates have come down, that prices are going to go up by 20%? Does it mean there's going to be more buyers out there? Can you give us a good explanation of what that means?
I don't think at the moment there's a tangible percentage amount that the market's going to increase by. But what I think we can quantify, and we'll be able to very soon, is that the rates have dropped again, which now gives confidence both to the buyers and the sellers. So it kind of benefits everyone with the recent changes. Labor got in, whether or not you're a Labor voter, a Liberal voter, or a Greens or whatever. The policies that have been put in place still will stimulate the market. So it's good that both the Labor and the Liberal side of the fence, they're both interested in making sure that the housing crisis is sorted and that everyone has the opportunity to buy a home. So I just think with those two things in mind, it's put a breath of positivity back into the marketplace, and it's given people certainty that it's going to be a good investment, whether or not you're selling or buying or that sort of thing. So a lot of confidence back in the market.
And I think to the Labor Party getting in, having 5% deposits for all buyers up to the region average sale price or whatever it may be. So in Newcastle, it's now up to sort of that circa 1.2.
Yeah.
I think that's going to probably add a few more buyers in. I did have a good conversation with my broker yesterday in regards to situation timing and how many people are getting pre-approvals through at the moment. And it's starting to increase. It decreased yesterday. He said he'll be busy again today. So I do feel like there's going to be more and more buyers out there. I think a lot of these first home buyers, they're getting a lot of help from bank of mum and dad, whether it's equity, whether it's cash, or whether it's, they've lived at home for the last 10 years and they've been able to save a few extra $1,000 a year. Whatever that looks like. There's a bit more bank of mum and dad helping your average Australians, I would say. And I think that's probably the only way that a lot of these people are going to get into, especially, like us. We're obviously sort of based around, most of our lives around that 2287, 2285 sort of market. We've always grown up in nice houses too. When you're buying your first house, you're not buying a nice house 9 times out of 10, unfortunately.
Definitely not.
But to buy even an average place, say in Wallsend, you're still spending $750,000.
For sure.
I had this conversation with my parents the other day where they bought their first house in Edgeworth off Tony Talati, funny enough. Tone.
Yeah.
Dad used to work with him.
Ledge.
And they didn't want to spend more than $100,000 and they end up spending $120,000. They're like, sometimes you got to spend more than what you want. And I'm like, oh, the difference between then and now is $900,000. $1 million today is $100,000 back then.
100%.
Oh, yeah, but the wages have changed. No, they haven't. They haven't changed that much.
Yeah.
First home buyers, it's hard.
How you finding like the Sydney buyers? Are they still around? Like, are you still getting plenty of volume with Sydney buyers?
We're definitely seeing the inquiry increase, especially from the western side of Sydney.
Yep.
A lot of people just want to get out of the rat race, and
Yep.
can you blame them? Like, it's good to go to Sydney to do the
Mm.
bridge climb, or go down there for a good feed,
Yep.
or to have a night at the casino or whatever you want to do, or whatever floats your boat.
Yep.
But I think it's good to get out of there, and
Yep.
it's expensive down there, man.
Yep.
Like, we went down to Manly not that long ago, and you go for dinner, it's $160, $70. Like,
It's nuts.
it's ridiculous. You go to dinner here, and it's 50.
How do you keep up with that? I saw they're selling a car space for over
I
$600,000.
think I shared on my story.
Yeah, that's nuts.
So
How's that a thing?
they auctioned a car space.
That's wow. I
Yeah.
lost words.
Wonder if they pay strata title on the car title. I really wanted to write heaps of smart ass comments on that post.
Yeah.
Really wanted to get into it, but like, do
Yeah.
they pay strata? Like, it's a strata building.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, how long is it? Like, are they buying a lease? Are they buying to
You
own it?
can't own the space.
Can't own the space. Like, you're not going to
Has
own a
to be
part
a
of it.
lease.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it has to
true,
be
true.
an inevitable lease. Like, it just didn't make sense. The post just didn't have enough, but I was like, that's like,
That's the way it's heading.
Uh-huh.
Like crazy.
man. Anyway,
A question I had for you, like I have asked this question before, but someone else asked me as well. How did you go? Like, how did you go from you had maybe 6 to 12 months experience in real estate, you had 0% market share in Fletcher and Maryland, but then within 12 months, you were able to turn that around into over 50% market share, which is just unheard of. Like, if you get to 30% market share in a suburb, you're doing exceptionally well as an agent. I think, like, to get 30%, it's really hard.
Yeah.
But you smashed 50%. Like, how did you do that?
yeah. Great question, and thanks for asking. It wasn't Fletcher and Maryland. It was just Fletcher at the time.
Yeah.
I only focused on Fletcher.
Yeah.
When I joined my previous employer, I had 32 contacts in that suburb. I was really lucky that my first sale, so much there was one-handed from my past principal.
Yep.
And then I got a bit of a run on, and then we met the suburb record at 1750. I successfully sold that prior to auction for the suburb record, and then that got me into the next one and got me
Yep.
into the next one. How I did it was every house in the suburb twice a month had a letter in their letterbox. I did heaps of social media stuff, like heaps of videos, heaps of digital footprint stuff. I got involved with the community. Obviously, I grew up out there. I'm really proud of the area.
Yep.
Sometimes can come back to bite me on the backside, as we see on the weekend. But
Yep.
Speaking from the truth, I think when I went out there too, obviously my biggest competitor was Teresa Day, and she's done a fantastic job for, say, 10 years, right? She had 80% market share, like, which is unheard of in any market in Newcastle, especially when you're running a business and doing that.
Yeah.
I think probably my leverage point was being able to just focus on selling. I wasn't
Yeah.
worried about rentals. I wasn't worried about
Yeah.
running a business. I was just worried about
Yeah.
getting it on the market, getting the best possible result.
Yeah.
It wasn't an auction market. I did a few auctions. I failed a few auctions didn't sell. They sold post or they sold early, whatever that may look like. We sold a couple at auction that were, good results.
Yep.
But you just got to be consistent. It's probably the biggest thing. So if that means you're doing 500 letterbox a day, do it every single day.
That's what
I was a bit fitter back then. Like, I was doing letterbox jobs every day and then calls but
it's so hard to be consistent in real estate. Like, people don't think it's hard work, but when you're trying to take over a suburb, that's hard work.
yeah,
Like, you're letterbox shopping, you're texting everyone in the suburb, you're calling through and letting everyone know your results and what property's sold for. You're managing a team, getting them to assist with the information out to the suburb. You're supporting networking groups and sponsoring sporting clubs. Like, there's actually a lot of moving parts that people don't see behind the scenes.
Yeah.
That
and I think that's why when you think about real estate, like, it's not really a 7 to 5 in the office sort of like for some it is. I'm really ADHD, so I struggle to be in the ones. But like you laugh about this all the time. I'm pinning my hands here against the seat so I don't move them around too much. Yeah. I find that being in the car, like just driving around calling, is really good for me. Sometimes it's like I'm better off just doing like anything that's admin or behind, like planning or like like that spreadsheet stuff that we did yesterday.
Yep.
I did that after hours.
Yep.
So being able to just do all that sort of stuff and I guess just it is hard to be consistent. There's
Yeah,
no doubt about
yeah,
it.
because you
Time
can't
chunk.
put aside the way you feel, and you've just got to run with
Yeah, I'm pretty
the
lucky though,
actions.
man. We've got a pretty good network now too. Like
Yeah.
obviously, I speak with Bill. Bill's done it. Your dad's done it.
Hmm.
New age, like Kev
Yep.
Buchanan's a good mate of mine. Um, Catch up with Josh Morrissey tomorrow on the phone.
Yep.
Obviously, I've seen how Anthony works at a
Yep.
high level.
Yep.
I got to watch Mark Kentwell, Chase Eade, Matt
Hmm.
Thompson, all those guys work at big volume at different times and how they sort of manage their life and all that sort of stuff. So
Yep.
it's just finding the happy medium. Like my happy medium isn't the same as yours.
Yep.
That we've definitely worked that out.
Hmm.
You just got to find what works for you
Yep.
and just make it work. Like
Yep.
there's no excuses. Like you'll get that bread.
Yep.
There it is.
I like what you say. It's excuses or
Excuses or results.
results. Love it. And it's good now because you're still obviously the Fletcher specialist. Like you can never take that away from you. Like your average sale price was $100,000 more than what was the suburb average sale price. So absolutely kicking it. But now you can not only bring that skills and experience, but also your now management style to
Yeah.
love. And this is us heading in a new direction. So obviously we've rebranded both soft and um, hard marketing now. So all the signage and buildings being painted and that sort of thing, we're definitely evolving and changing and turning it into a lifestyle, like with your assistants, like what you've said, turn it into a lifestyle based environment for other agents, for experienced agents, leveraged by a powerful brand that's had years of success and a rent roll the size it is. So that way, when you do have a farm area or a BDA, you're backed by the properties in that rent roll that you already manage. But like, talk to me about what are your biggest observations and wins at the moment as a manager. Um,
Just getting to line up next to you every day would be best.
Piss off. Mate, you're a
Nah.
salesperson.
The things that I've enjoyed the most is like obviously starting fresh. I mean, who enjoys starting fresh again? No one, to be fair. But I've actually kind
Yep.
of enjoyed it.
Yep.
Um, I've never been in a management role because I've never been mature enough for it, and I've never been probably respected enough to step into that role.
Yep.
It was pretty cool coming with my first day because no one really knew. Like it was
Mm.
when we made the decision, it was sort of it all happened
Yep.
within
Very quickly.
30 hours.
Yeah, very quickly.
Call at lunchtime, and then not the next day, the day after, I was here.
Yep.
Um,
What
and
what what I loved is that, like, because obviously I've been here for a while now. I've already had the team. I've been running the team and that sort of thing. Just that burst of energy, your different approach, and your kind of like lead from the front mentality, like lead with actions, not with words. I think that's been like a really good
yeah, and then there's definitely things I can improve on, right? I think,
run.
yeah,
Mm.
I think now, like reflecting on, past roles and past, like there's could have been 1,000 things that I could have done better,
Mm-hmm.
and I still learn every day. Like,
Yep.
had a good lesson today.
Yep.
I'll have a good lesson tomorrow. Next week there'll be another good lesson, right? So you've got to keep learning and keep growing and evolving.
Yeah.
I find the thing that I've liked about here is that like people are pretty responsive to what you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Obviously we've got Michael now involved in our sales team, which is
Yep.
and like we really align. Like
Yeah.
he beats my drum and I've got to beat his a little bit as well. Like going from obviously how strong we were Genman system into
Yeah.
like a bit more EBUs and buyer managers and
Yeah.
co-listing like and all that sort of stuff. Exactly like these big principal teams that have got these teams that
Mm.
how they work and what they do and X Y Z.
Mm.
So it's exciting. It's hard. Don't get me wrong.
Yep.
Hard's good though. It makes you uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think like I felt as though our combination is going to be like we're going to achieve some really good things.
Yeah.
I really do. I just feel like me coming from like a more genuine trained style and yourself being like a high performer, a modern agent. Like I think that us together we're going to absolutely smash it. But which brings me to our next point. Like our goal is to obviously grow. Um, our goal is to grow. We're both high performers. We've both done volume. We're both keen to keep kicking it. Now we want people to join and have their own success. So why do you think it's why should people come and give it a crack with love and turn the leaf to a new chapter?
Yeah, like Powered with Love, you've probably heard it a little bit. Obviously, that's one thing we've been working on massively and like after hours, and it's something that I'm pretty passionate about. We've already got a superstar in the Powered with Love system with Mediana.
Yep.
She's going to do great things. Like, I mean, she's got every single agency. She shows us all the time messaging her.
Yeah.
That shows that she's doing the right things, right?
Mhm.
It's pretty cool to be able to help her along that journey. And these new listings that we've got coming up in her area, put them on there. And
Yeah.
that's one thing too, like
Yeah.
us being sort of, in the system, being able to find those listings or get referred into them like I did with a couple and
100%.
get her on the face of it. So that it blows her up. Like it's not about us anymore.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, not directly linked to my previous employer, but there's a lot of principles that sort of take away the steam. Like they'll go list it. Oh yeah, you come work on it or whatnot.
Yeah.
For example, when not my past, the employer before them,
Mm.
there was no BDAs and there was no like even if someone wanted to work in an area, anyone could list there. Like I think if someone's passionate about an area, is where I'm trying to go with this. You help them by putting them on this lead
100%.
agent and help them grow and help them do the right thing in their own core marketplace because one, they like it, they love it, and they're servicing it. So let them do that. And yeah, just keep growing and
Yeah. Last question. What
I've
do
still
you?
got a few too.
Okay, you got a few. All right.
You go. Last question.
What are your thoughts on how the year's going to play out next 6 months?
Obviously, Kev is one of my good mates, and we sort of speak once a week or twice a week. And he was saying to me the other day that he feels like what he's done work over the last 6 to 8 weeks since he sort of stepped away from Calibre, like once it's been set up, that his results and his effort and everything's starting to come to market. So that means that Sydney market's starting to heat up.
Yep.
So we're between 6 or 8 weeks away from it heating up here.
Yep.
So we really need to get on the hookers and
Exciting.
speak with people like Amy McAllister, 23rd Street, all those sorts of guys, and build our digital footprint is what I know you're sick of hearing me say it.
Yeah.
Build a digital footprint, do these podcasts,
Yeah.
Interview some good people,
Yeah.
and just get like-minded professionals. Like we had a gentleman here yesterday who I can't speak any higher of. Like absolutely admired bloke, and hopefully we can make something work there. But there's some great things happening, and I think for the people out there and the agents out there, like big brands will not be a thing anymore. Like if you think about let's just talk Newcastle market.
Yep.
Who's the number one agent? Sales volume.
Sam Taylor.
Sam Taylor, own brand. Number two.
Donato.
Nah. Donna Spillane.
Wow.
Own brand. Donato.
Yep.
Fourth.
Troy Duncan or
yeah, Troy. So I think that's a big brand.
Lyndall Allen.
And then Lyndall Allen. And then six, Dave Lane.
Yep.
So out of the top six, four of them have got their own brands.
Yep.
So why would you join a big brand? Come talk to someone that's a privately owned business where you can buy equity in it. There's none of the, big brand bullshit is what I call it.
Yeah.
You can't, that's not on brand. This is like, you can actually do what you need to do. And hey, this is where I think it's good to spend money. Yep, sweet, no worries. This is where I don't see value. And we can work on a plan with you to be powered with love. Like, however that may look, sort of similar to like an Urban X model or a agent's agency or Plum Partners.
Yeah.
But internally. So you get a database straight away, you don't have to buy it. Like you're going to get a kickstart and then you can add to it later down the track. And we've got all the resources in the world that we can potentially add the right people in with whatever terms and stuff they really want.
Yeah.
Whether that's, if they want to work from the Warners Bay office, like we've got a Warners Bay space. Stuff like that. Broadmeadow. Yeah. PS, if you want to work around the Broadmeadow office, give me a call.
Hit us up.
But yeah, no, it's exciting times.
Yeah.
Exciting times.
Very. No.
So some questions for you. One question I had from one of my favourite human beings, who was actually a general manager of mine there a little while ago. I'm just going to get it up. Mel asked, what sort of training and premium training are we going to be doing to help grow the business internally?
Okay. Really good. Well, you've already touched on it briefly, but Michael Murray. So Michael Murray is going to be one of our trainers. So he'll be assisting both Luke, myself, the leadership team on customer service, delivery of standards, systems and processes is going to be phenomenal. So this is a guy who ran over 400 agents, a national brand. So he knows a thing or two about delivering on service standards and systems and processes that make sure.
He knows how to make it work.
Sorry?
He knows how to make it work.
He knows how to make it work. He knows how to turn on. So that's one guy. Tom Panos. He's another one of our coaches and trainers. You've got Paul Sidorovsky. So Paul Sidorovsky's on our board as well. He's someone that is a phenomenal human and growth mindset. He's works closely with Tony Robbins as well. And I just think he's been really good. He spoke to the whole company at the start of the year and helped kind of light our fires, which is good. And he's going to be a sounding board for the rest of the year. So
Yep.
that's exciting. But as far as training goes, like obviously
We're speaking about Renee too, Renee Lodes, Renegades.
Yeah.
It's definitely something we're going to do. I love Renee. Obviously, I worked with her when I was at Bell, but she's incredible. I think there's plenty of good sales coaches out there. I think it's just about, keep aligning the team and getting the right people.
As far as training and stuff goes, on the floor every single day, the team has access to either you with a stalled deal, or they need to help align a buyer and a seller, or with marketing and that sort of thing. They've got yourself to turn to. They've got me. We do a team meeting every single morning to discuss any challenges they have throughout the day. Then Steve trains every Monday morning. So there's plenty of training and plenty of professional paid coaches we have working with us with Love exclusively. So yeah, more than enough.
So another question that we had too was like, who are the right people that we're looking for? Like, within the business, like it's a pretty blanket question, right? We're sort of starting from the ground up.
If I was to narrow it down, I would say, and then let me know what yours is after this. But I think good people. So you're genuinely like a good person, both professionally and personally. So it's a genuine. You're out. So a good person, someone who wants to hustle and make money. So someone who really wants to turn up with a purpose and with a why. So good person, someone wants to hustle, and then someone who's prepared to put the client first, knowing that it's going to benefit them in the long run. So the decisions they make need to be around our values. Put the client first. Like, it's very cliche real estate agent to say put the client first, but genuinely put the client first, their needs before your own, whether that's the time you're taking a phone call, going out and doing an extra inspection for the buyer to feel comfortable, letting a family member into the property for them to confirm that they like it, but putting the client's needs before your own in order to benefit you in the long run. I think those three things are the things I'm looking for.
Yeah, and culture, buying into the culture too.
Have to.
That's one other thing I'm going to say. Like, I think if we have the right culture here, right, and the right energy around people want to come to work.
Yeah.
Gone are the days that you can sort of flog someone into doing what you want them to do.
Yeah.
You got to build a culture that people love showing up for you as a person, you as the business, to ensure that we get the best possible results every single time, because they're passionate about it. And if you think about it, like the teams that have been together the longest, like a Steinway team, or the other fellow from McGrath that's up in Indooroopilly in Queensland, what's his name? Alex Jordan. His team been together 15 years.
That's crazy.
So the culture's obviously great, right? They can lean on.
That should be.
Exactly right. So
family.
We family.
Don't call it a gang.
Took the words out of my mouth. Next question. Are you actually in a gang?
Huh?
Are you in a gang?
I just thought it was cool because you were doing it. So I thought I'd do it too.
Oh my God. Well, guys, I think that'll sort of wrap us up. It's 25 minutes of me and Lem talking absolute jargon.
That's right.
English is our second language.
Yep.
We do tend to have a bit of a laugh and have some good times, but the results are ticking up. Like, obviously, every single month. Momentum season. So if you want to even if you just want to ask questions, right? No obligation. If you just want to know how things are working and where they're heading, give us a call. Give us a text. I promise, like, it doesn't bite.
I don't.
Not hard anyway.
No, not so.
007, thank you for your time.
Thank you so much. Don't call me that. See you guys.